Sharing a little bit about my story from hobbyist to entrepreneur to CEO, and a little bit about that journey over there. Let me know who's in the field with me. Let me know who's watching. If you're watching live, you know the jazz, you know the jam. Hashtag live. Say hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from. If you're watching replay, hashtag replay. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And I'm very curious, for those of you who are coming on, tell me, like, how do you feel about your business right now? Do you feel like, oh, am I just running a hobby or am I really running a business? Am I simply an online entrepreneur? Am I simply a coach? Am I simply a healer? And am I simply this or that? Or are you truly stepping in? Hi, Yasmin. Are you truly stepping in as a CEO of your business? You see, the energetics there is so different, it's so widely different. And I'm going to share a little bit about my experience there. Just give me 1 second. How are you, Yasmin? Thanks for tuning in. Because I have prepared some notes. Actually, I actually wrote a blog, but I want to tune in. Hey, Daria, live from Malta, woohoo! Crossing the globes in the water from Kathmandu to Malta. Amazing. So I just asked, how do you feel about your business? Do you feel like you are running are you running a hobby, or are you simply an entrepreneur, or do you feel like you're truly a CEO in your business? How do you feel? How do you feel like you're showing up right now in your business? Sorry, I just had to switch off my phone. I think I have a delivery coming. They're going to be calling me. So I would just like to share some parts of my story. And this is starting in 2018, actually. And I was already sort of 3 years or so after leaving my career, and I've packed my bags from Malta and I traveled to the other side of the world, where I still am, with no plan whatsoever. No plan on what I'm gonna do, no plan on how I'm gonna live, or like what is my next plan. I had no idea. I just knew that something else was out there for me, and I knew that I was ready to take life for whatever path came my way. And this is in 2018 when I really sort of felt like I was initiated. I had already been through like a lot of processing, self-processing around like uncovering my masks and my identities that I had been wearing and that I so attached myself to, right? My career, especially in the past, that I really attached my identity to that. But it was really in misalignment. And then I had I had been volunteering for over 2 years in an organization which still is very close to my heart, and I'm involved with here in Nepal, which had me empowering communities and starting micro enterprises to empower communities and create sustainable incomes for the organization as well as for the people working in them. And this eventually led me to do some social media management and freelance writing. But during this time, I decided to really, I was really questioning, what the hell am I doing here? Like, what is my purpose? And I knew I had this deep sense of like serving people, right? And that's what I had been doing through the volunteering. But there's more that I'm looking at. There's more impact I can be making. There's more wealth I could be creating, right? And not only for myself, but I really truly believe that the more wealth I have in my space, the more wealth people around me are going to experience, okay? And abundance in that wealth and impact and freedom, okay, that a lot of us are craving from. So this is when I decided to start my blog, Naturally Hannah, and this is I explored many avenues, but nothing really stuck. But I'll get to that. I found myself really burnt out trying to like continuously churn out content on a regular basis, post very rigorously, and I really came to a point where I started to feel like I was selling my soul to get brands on board with me, to do collaborations and paid partnerships, and I went down the rabbit hole of influencer marketing. And this had me it was late in 2019 when I was hosting a giveaway in Instagram, right? And I was all about like, everyone was telling me that you need to build your following, you need to have 10K followers, you need to have an X% of engagement rates on your post to be like, all of these things that had me on this rat race. It was really a freaking rat race, right? And this is what put me into total misalignment, because I started to do things to get that. I started to doing all of these giveaways and all of these pod groups or whatever you want to call them to like boost each other's engagement. Like some of them you even had to pay to be in certain groups where like you basically boost each other's engagement. No, I'm telling you, this is absolutely nuts. If anyone is still out there teaching this shit, like please stop doing that to yourselves, okay? Because all it's going to give you is vanity results. And this is like a huge lesson I learned, right? Although it was amazing on my ego, getting some validation, getting engagement, I was attaching that validation and engagement based on hearts and likes and wows and comments. And what is that bringing? What is that bringing to the world? What is that bringing to myself? What is that bringing to the communities I want to serve? What is that bringing to the people I can serve? And it was really interesting because I had just invested in a $2,000 program. The program that I felt was going to change my life, right? and I'm not sure if anyone's commenting. I can't really see right now. Yeah. And what happened is that although I didn't finish the program at the time, I did finish it eventually. But I really started to feel like I'm doing all of these things that feel so misaligned. And it was really a comment from one of my close friends that triggered the hell out of me. All right. And my ego was like, oh, what does she know about building a business online? And she doesn't understand where I'm coming from and how much work and effort and passion I'm putting into my work, right? And it really obviously hurt my wounded ego there. And I stepped back and really simmered in that. And it's like, what the hell am I doing? Like, why have I not finished that program, first of all? And second of all, like, why is this comment triggering me so much? And I really felt lost and depleted. And again, like, it was sort of validating all of those limiting beliefs and fears I had about, you see, you don't have what it takes. You see, you're not good enough. You see, you failed again. You see, you're always going to be confused. Something a friend of mine actually projected back to me, because that's what I was projecting out there. Like, I'm always confused. I was overwhelmed. And at the same time, I was building a business, a freelance business. And this freelance work, which included social media management and content creation and strategy and product development and writing and editing, had me working like 50, 60 hours a week. I was burnt out. So this is like this was a little bit my journey from going like totally unemployed and volunteer to hobbyist through my blog, and now an entrepreneur that was really burnt out. And there was there was a lot of potential for scaling, but I'm not made to work 50, 60 hours a week. That's so like not in my blueprint. I can't do that. It is so unhealthy for me to even work 40 hours a week, right? It is just not my human design. I'm a projector. For those who are exploring or who know about human design, I can't do that. I really can't do that. And this is when I decided, and this is what was missing. And I think this was the biggest misalignment. And this is what I really want to like put emphasis on today. Like, when I closed the doors on my career back in 2015, I didn't just leave the job. What I did energetically was I locked out all of those experiences, those skills, those strengths, those natural gifts and talents that I had and developed throughout all of those 8 years. I forgot who I am. I forgot who I am. I forgot all of those experiences and learnings I had accumulated in those 8 years working previous to me leaving. The hundreds, if not more, events I organized, the teams that I've built and coached and mentored and grew, the brands that I built. The relationships that I created with all of the stakeholders in the industries, from high level officials to patient support groups, from international CEOs to the sales promoter at retail level. And this was all between the age of 18 and 26. I forgot all of that. And that is part of me. You see, when I saw myself, when I saw my higher self, when I saw my successful self, I always saw me in a space of coaching and consulting. Successful in my own right, confident in myself, integrated, balanced, embodied. But it felt so far away until I began to see all of that I had closed behind that door. And this is what I really wanted to talk about today, because I see so many people who, like me, guilty as charged, believe that they need another coaching certificate. They need to do another coaching program or another healing modality or another this or another that to validate yourself, because that piece of paper is going to give you validation, because that piece of paper is going to give you recognition. If you want to develop your skills because you really want to, like for example this weekend I've enrolled in an NLP course certification, because I feel that that's going to ground what I already have. And this is, for me, it's a passion. I continue learning all the time. I'm learning something new every day. But it's not because I'm looking for that validation. It's not because that certification is going to give me more confidence. It's not because that certification is going to give me more clients. Far from it. So I challenge you to do this exercise. I challenge you to write down every single thing that you have done in your professional and personal life. All of the successes, all of the wins, all of the celebratory moments, all the things that you have done, that you have achieved, every single one. Believe me, you will be impressed with yourself, because they are impressive. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget all of the skills and the knowledge and the wisdom that you hold today. All of those natural gifts that you have continued to develop over the years in your professional and personal life. Look for that evidence, because that evidence is real, that evidence is fact. All of the wins that you have experienced, all of the success that you have helped other people achieve in whatever it is that you do. Every single one. And so when I brought all of that back, and when I started to recognize myself, when I started to recognize all of that, I stepped into my growth. I stepped into my knowledge and wisdom, and integrating all of those parts to be able to come here and serve those who need to be served today through my gifts and who vibe with me. If you don't vibe with me, I'm fine. It's totally cool, guys. But I came here to serve those who are ready to level up, who are ready to serve, who know that they have these gifts and skills that they have been developing for all of these years. Now it's time to bring it out there. And if you've already started that journey, but you're struggling to get the clients, you're struggling to monetize, you're struggling to step up as a CEO. Maybe you're stuck in that entrepreneur phase like I was, where you're feeling like you're overwhelmed and working too many hours and spending 8 hours a day on social media. You should not need to be doing that. Has it been an easy journey for me? No. Is there more for me? Absolutely. There's more for me. I'm a very driven person. I go out of my way. I think I've built resiliency that is crazy. I think I've taken many risks in my life. Packing my bag with absolutely no life plan and hardly any savings was one of them. Is there more for you? Are there parts of yourself that you have not integrated? Are there parts of yourself that you're not recognizing? Are there parts of you that you are hiding? Are you looking for permission outside of you to step into your power today? Or can you validate yourself today with the skills and the experience that you have accumulated along the way? Do you give yourself permission today to embrace all of that? Embrace all of you, all that you are, and show up in that power. Are you committed to fully living in purpose and creating a coaching or a healing or a consultancy business that is soul driven and empowering, not only for the people you work with, but for you and your family and the people around you. Stepping into this version of me, better late than never, was scary, but so damn worth it. Were there moments where I felt like throwing in the towel? Yep. Were there moments where I thought I need to look for another job? Yep. It's so damn worth it. And this is actually my zone of genius too, because I see the potential in you. When I have a client in front of me and they're not seeing themselves, I see it. I see you. I see your gifts. I help you extract that so that you can embrace all of those parts of you. A lot of the time people come to me with all of these like separated parts of themselves and think they can only do like a business in this or a thing in that, or they can only coach that. But what happens when we integrate all of that? Then we have your zone of genius. This is what makes you unique. This is what makes you stand out. I want to help you do that so that you can confidently show up in your authentic self. Embody marketing and business as a practice with ease, so you can step in that next level, so you can step from hobbyist to entrepreneur to CEO. I want you to start treating your business as a business. A CEO doesn't say, oh, I'm just not vibing today, I won't show up. Be the CEO of your life. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. Like a CEO shows up for his employees. If you are the only employee right now in your business, show up for you. Show up for those clients that you can serve, for the solutions you have to offer. Your solutions, your offers, your services, your coaching, your programs, your courses, whatever it is you have, you are the creator. You get to decide. You get to choose how to live your life, how to create your business. It's serving. If serving through your gifts is one way of you living in purpose, and I would love to help you. There are so many ways we can do this together. I've posted one of them in the comments below. If you're a person who's already been in the online space, and even if not, but if you're looking for like high level activation, if you're looking for mentorship, not simply taking a program and a course, because you'll get all of that. You'll get all of the tools that I use and that I continue using and that I teach and that I guide. But if you really want high-level activation and mentorship, let's talk. There are masterminds, there's one-to-one, there are various ways we can do this together. I'm here to extract your zone of genius. If you allow me to, and if you're ready to do that, I'm just gonna read some comments. I'm 10 years into the... Ooh, this is a long one. And fun. Oh my God, yes, Daria, yeah, you're way qualified. You're way qualified. You are so qualified. That is the most annoying part. You are, yeah, I know I'm right. It is the most annoying part. This is my biggest frustration. Believe me, my zone of genius of seeing the potential in people is the biggest blessing. I'm so grateful for this, but it can also be such a curse. Because I see it and I get so frustrated when people are not ready to rise. And from looking at you in the last few weeks, you are on that, you're about to break through. You're really about to break through. You're right, I didn't fully give myself permission to fully own my knowledge and experience and show up, but I could never use the excuses not yet certified because I'm holding on a folder. Yes, definitely, Han. It's all about embodying it. It's really about embodying it. Knowing and trusting and believing in yourself. And when you do that, when you fully embrace and embody and believe fully in yourself and trust in your work, then people start recognizing you for that. Don't seek permission from outside. You need to give yourself permission. And babe, you can give yourself permission right now in this moment. Thank you, ladies, for being with me, and for those of you who are watching on replay, tell me who else is watching. I can see 7 of you popping in. Tell me who is here and if there are any questions. please reach out to me. I'm here to chat. I'm here to serve. Yeah, this is who I am, and I really wanted to share that little part of me and that story. Um, yeah, have your own back. Have your own back. And this is the huge difference when you do this. When you do this, when you're investing in yourself, the energy in which you invest in yourself is so different. This is where you get to practice self-leadership. This is where you get to practice self-responsibility. Not looking for something to save you, but you're investing in yourself through the guidance of a coach, through the guidance of a course, whatever it is. You are taking the steps, you are showing up for yourself, so you're participating, you're asking the questions, you're using the resources you have available to you. This is the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. They are self-responsible, self-autonomous, and they take responsibility for their actions. And they come in and they ask the questions. So as I said, there's one offer, the Organic Client Attraction. We have a challenge coming up that's free. If you're interested in the challenge, I'll also drop the link below. If you're interested in high activation, there's space in the Soul Biz Incubator. We can talk about all of these things. If you're unsure, this was not meant to be a pitch fest. If you're unsure, just reach out. Reach out and tell me where you're at. Tell me what you want to work through, and I will guide you with some recommendations on how to move forward and how to help you reach that next goal, that next level, that whatever it is that you're desiring right now. Sending you lots of love.